Our former Zimbabwean Finance Minister Tendai Biti joins us on the line now to get a reaction from Finance Minister Chinamasa's budget. Thank you very much for joining us and welcome to the program. So you know this job very well. You know how difficult it is to put a budget together in Zimbabwe. Your reaction to Finance Minister Chinamasa's budget today?
There are some good sound bites there. If you go beyond the sound bites, you'll find that it's same old language. I want to speak first on the Indiginisation Empowerment Act and make the point that the war act has been repeated. Zimbabwe doesn't need it, and Zimbabwe needs to craft a new matrix of empowering and its people, centered around particularly the social services, livelihoods, in particular education. I think that the elephant in the living room is, of course, the budget deficit. The current budget deficit is in excess of $2 billion US, or at least 10% of GDP. The 2018 budget intends to reduce that to 4%. But quite clearly, there is a wrong macroeconomic framework. For instance, there's a growth rate of 4.5%, but we don't know where that will come from because the economy is not producing. There is a revenue target of $5.1 billion. We also don't know where that will come from. The most we have collected is 3.5 billion. Next year is an election year. Quite clearly, the election itself has to monetize. But in particular, election committees from the ruling party have to be monetized. So I think that just like in the past, what will keep our economy is the government that can live within its own means. There's no doubt in my mind that the budget deficit will be 15% of GDP in 2018.
All right. So, but they have made some concessions, I guess, for the international community. This partial reversal of the indiginisation policy. Is that enough, do you think, to entice investors to come through, or is it still a question of let's just wait and see what happens and then we'll come in?
I think that Zimbabweans and the international community have been disappointed in the past. There were always signs that we were going to test the new regime. One of them, they've already failed, which was whether or not they were prepared to work with others. They were prepared to work with the opposition in crafting a sustainable policy. The other level of disappointment is the absence of a clear roadmap to legitimacy. We continue to see the army and soldiers in our streets, and quite clearly the army is totally and wholly in charge. And we can't continue having things ruling the policy of Zimbabwe. Number three, we don't see signs of political and institutional reform, in particular electoral reform, to ensure that there will be free and fair elections next year. So I guess that the attitude of investors, the attitude of the national communities that walk the talk, deliver a free, clean, legitimate election 28 in Zimbabwe, then we can. But of course, you and I know that no class ever commits class suicide, and no party ever reforms itself out of power. So we are not optimistic, and we have to fight.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. We're losing your line there, but thank you very much indeed for your insights. That's the former finance minister of Zimbabwe, Tendai Biti, saying that we've heard much of this before, and promises have been made in the past, but we're not hopeful that they'll follow through. And some of the ambitions that they had, particularly around reducing the budget deficit, he can't see where those figures are coming from. The finance minister was talking about a growth rate of about 4.5%. It's estimated that Zimbabwe might grow by 3.7% by the end of 2017. So he's just saying we can't do the maths there. We can't see where these amounts are coming from. The finance minister himself was talking about the gravity of fiscal indiscipline. And this is, again, something that's been obvious and something that's been visible and something that's been known, but never dealt with in the past. So the question might be, why would they deal with it now? But as we saw from a package earlier on, the Chinese have been great friends of Zimbabwe, and just this week have signed $200 million in loan and grants to the Zimbabwean government. But when you're sitting with a budget deficit in order of $2 billion, perhaps $200 million isn't a huge amount of money to solve some of the pressing problems that Zimbabwe has.